I walked into my own birthday party and found my husband on his knees, proposing to another woman. The room fell silent as he laughed and said, "Oh, you weren't supposed to see this." His mistress smirked and flaunted the ring. My heart pounded, but I smiled and said, "Then let's open my gift to you both." When they unwrapped it, their smiles disappeared and the guests gasped in shock. It was my 40th birthday. We live in Chicago, me and Mark, my husband of 15 years. We've been together since our late 20s. We built a life, a home, shared friends. We didn't have kids, just never worked out, but we had each other. Or so I thought. We weren't perfect, obviously. No one is. But I truly believed we were solid. We had routines. Little traditions. Movie nights, Sunday brunch, dumb inside jokes. We shared everything, except, apparently, his love. The weeks leading up to my birthday, something felt off. I'd ask what was wrong, and he'd shrug it off. Work's been crazy. Just tired. You're imagining things. You know the drill. He started working late a lot. Started taking more showers than usual. Locked his phone. Switched passwords. Stopped touching me. Barely kissed me goodnight anymore. My gut was screaming, but I wasn't ready to listen yet. Then he suggested throwing me a birthday party. At this rooftop restaurant downtown that we used to love. Said it would be a celebration of you and invited friends, coworkers, some family. He was so enthusiastic about it, I started to question if maybe I was imagining things. Maybe he really wanted to do something nice for me. So I dressed up, did my hair, put on the same perfume I wore on our wedding day, thinking maybe this would bring us back together. I walked into that place, expecting hugs, laughter, balloons, maybe a few bad karaoke songs. What I got instead was silence. Not because I was early. Not because I surprised them. But because when I stepped into the room, I saw him. On one knee. Holding a ring. Looking up at her. Her name's Jessica. She works at his company. I'd met her at a few office parties. She always wore too much perfume and laughed too loud, but I never hated her. I didn't think twice about her. I trusted him. Mark was proposing. To her. At my party. Everyone was frozen. Someone dropped a glass. I just stood there, in the doorway, feeling like the air had been sucked out of my lungs. I couldn't even speak at first. Mark turned around, saw me, and had the audacity to laugh. Like it was funny. "Oh," he said. "You weren't supposed to see this." I swear to God, I still hear that line in my head sometimes. The way he laughed, like it was a joke. Like I was the one who had messed up his surprise. Jessica didn't even flinch. She just smiled and showed off the ring to some of the guests. Like I didn't exist. Like I hadn't been his wife for a decade and a half. Like this wasn't my birthday. That's when I knew, they didn't care. They thought I was dumb. They thought they were clever. They thought they'd get away with it. But I wasn't dumb. I'd known for a few weeks something was going on. I'd already done the digging. I'd hired a private investigator. He gave me more than I wanted, photos of hotel meetings, printed texts, restaurant receipts from places we'd never been together. I walked right up to them. I smiled, fake, but calm. Looked him in the eyes and said, "Since we're doing surprises tonight, I have one for you too. Let's open my gift." I pulled out the box I'd brought. Wrapped it myself. Handed it to him. He took it, still trying to pretend this wasn't happening. Opened the lid. Pulled out the papers. It was everything. Emails. Texts. Photos. A whole timeline of the affair. Where it started. How long it had been going. All the nights he told me he was working late but was really in some hotel off Michigan Avenue with her. His smile dropped. Jessica leaned over to look. Her face went white. Gasp started echoing around the room. People backed away. No one said a word. I turned to the guests and said, "Sorry to interrupt. Guess this party's not for me anymore. I'll see myself out." And I walked. Calm. No tears. No yelling. Just walked out into the night air and took the longest, deepest breath of my life. I haven't spoken to him since that night. It's been a few weeks now. He's tried calling, texting, left voicemails, sent emails. One of them actually said, "You embarrassed me." As if he wasn't the one who humiliated me first. A few people from the party have reached out. Some apologized for not saying something sooner. Some said they suspected something but didn't want to get involved. A few are pissed, at him, at her, at the whole damn thing. The divorce papers are being drawn up. My lawyer is good. Real good. The investigator I hired gave us more than enough. But I'm still here. Still trying to breathe. Still trying to understand how someone I loved for 15 years could treat me like I was nothing. No, I don't have a neat little bow to tie this up with. No healing arc. Not yet. I'm still hurt. I'm still angry. And yeah, sometimes I cry myself to sleep. But I'm also proud. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I didn't throw things. I let them expose themselves. And I walked away with my head held high. Maybe someday I'll be able to say I'm over it. Maybe someday I'll find someone who doesn't lie, who doesn't cheat, who doesn't think love is disposable. But for now? I'm just trying to survive. And honestly, after that night? I think I'm doing okay. So I thought that was it. That I dropped the bomb and walked away. I thought the worst was over. But I was wrong. Because a few days later, I got a knock on my door. It was Jessica. Not Mark. Jessica. She stood there on my porch in a cream-colored trench coat, hair done up, makeup perfect, like she was about to go to brunch in the Gold Coast, not confront the wife of the man she just got engaged to. I didn't say a word. Just stared at her. She smiled, actually smiled, and said, "We need to talk." Woman to woman. I should have slammed the door. Should have told her to go to hell. But part of me needed to know why. Why would she come to me? After everything? I let her in. We sat in the kitchen. I didn't offer her coffee. I didn't even sit down. She did though. Crossed her legs like she was completely in control. Then she dropped it. "I didn't know you were still together," she said. I laughed. A short, dry, "You've got to be kidding me" laugh. "Jessica," I said, "we were married. We lived together. You were at my birthday party. You think that was a coincidence?" She shrugged. "Mark said the divorce was almost final. He said you knew. He told me you agreed to keep it quiet because you were embarrassed." I almost lost it. My hand started shaking. "He lied to you," I said, "just like he lied to me. For over a year." Then she looked up at me, and for the first time, she actually looked unsure. "He's missing," she said. My heart stopped. "What?" "He didn't come home last night," she said. "He won't answer his phone. He's not at his apartment. His car's gone." I stared at her, thinking it had to be a joke. Or some sick stunt. But she looked serious. Nervous. That's when I felt it. That awful, gnawing feeling in my chest. I knew Mark. He was many things, liar, cheater, coward, but he wasn't the type to just disappear. I told her to leave. Said if I heard anything, I'd let her know. She gave me her number, but I tossed it the second she walked out. I didn't want to care. I shouldn't care. But I couldn't help it. I called his sister. She hadn't heard from him either. Said he stopped returning her texts after the party. Said he was spiraling. I checked our shared bank account. He had cleared out $12,000. 2 days before the party. I checked our condo. Empty. His stuff was gone, his clothes, laptop, passport. Gone. That's when I realized he'd been planning this. Not just the proposal. The escape. Mark wasn't just cheating. He was leaving. Maybe both of us. And then it got worse. A week later, I got a letter in the mail. No return address. Just my name, typed out. Inside was a single sheet of paper. It said, check the storage unit on Halsted. Locker number 421. That was it. No signature. No explanation. I didn't tell anyone. I don't know why. I guess I wanted to know first. I wanted answers without an audience. I drove down to the place on Halsted. Showed my ID. Told them the locker number. They hesitated, then handed me a key. I unlocked it. Inside wasn't much. A duffel bag. A metal filing box. A large envelope with my name on it. I opened the envelope first. Inside were Polaroids. Old ones. Me and Mark. From years ago. Trips to New York. Our honeymoon. My dad's funeral. Things only we had. But then, other pictures. Ones I'd never seen. Mark. With a different woman. Not Jessica. A brunette. Pale. Holding a baby. Dozens of pictures. The same woman. The same kid. Dates on the back. Over 6 years ago. I dropped the envelope. Hand shaking. Opened the filing box. Inside were documents. A birth certificate. A boy's name. Mark's name on the father line. Not mine. A secret family. Another life. While I was home thinking we were trying for our baby, he already had one. I couldn't breathe. Mark didn't just cheat. He didn't just propose to another woman. He had a whole other child. A woman. A family. All this time. And now he was gone. Vanished. And all I had were the pieces. I sat on the concrete floor of that storage unit for what felt like hours. Just staring at those photos. At his child. Their child. The math wasn't adding up. 6 years ago, we were still trying. I was doing hormone injections. Crying in the bathroom every time the pregnancy test came back negative. And he had a whole baby. With someone else. And never told me. I wanted to scream. I wanted to tear everything in that locker apart. But instead, I just sat there, quiet. Frozen. Because the worst part wasn't just that he cheated. Or lied. Or left. It was that I didn't know him at all. When I finally got the strength to leave, I took the birth certificate and the Polaroids with me. I left the rest. Something told me I'd need proof later. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept staring at the boy's name, Lucas Andrew, and Mark's signature as the father. Then I did what any curious, broken woman would do. I opened Facebook. Typed the mother's name from the certificate into the search bar. Her profile was private. But the profile picture? It was her and Lucas. He looked just like Mark. Same smile. Same crooked ears. Same chin dimple. I felt sick. I couldn't tell anyone. Not yet. Not even my sister. I needed to figure it out first. The next morning, I decided to confront Mark's office. I walked in like I still belonged in his life, like I wasn't just the ex-wife in limbo. His secretary, Janet, saw me and froze. I asked, "Have you heard from him?" She nodded slowly. He quit. A week before the party. I blinked. What? She leaned in. He told me it was time for a clean start. Said he'd gotten an offer to work remotely. Abroad. Where? She hesitated. Didn't say. Just gave me an address to forward mail to. Somewhere in Portugal. That wasn't even the twist. The twist came when I asked for the address. She said she didn't have it anymore. Because Jessica already came and picked it up. That was when it hit me. Jessica didn't come to me because she was worried. She came to me because she was covering something up. I rushed home. Dug the crumpled paper out of the trash where I'd thrown her number. Texted her, "We need to talk. Now." She replied instantly. "Your place or mine?" I picked hers. She lived in a condo near River North. Fancy. Paid for kind of fancy. When I got there, she looked annoyed. Not scared. Not confused. Just annoyed. "Why are you so eager now?" she said, arms crossed. I didn't answer. Just threw the birth certificate on her table. She stared at it for a long time. Then looked up and said, "Yeah. I know. I nearly lost it." "You knew? You knew? And you still?" She raised a hand. He said he wasn't with her anymore. Said she got pregnant on purpose. That he sends money but doesn't talk to her. I figured it wasn't my business. I was shaking. He had a child. While we were trying to conceive. Jessica finally looked a little human. Her face dropped. I didn't know that part. Then she said something that chilled me. "He always said you'd understand eventually. That you were the type to forgive." I was stunned. "He planned this?" She nodded slowly. "I think he's been planning it for a while." That's when I told her about the storage unit. About the envelope. About the vanishing act. Jessica looked panicked now. "For real?" "He told me he was moving to Europe. Said we'd start fresh there. He told me to wait a month and then meet him in Lisbon." I asked, "And you were going to?" She looked away. "I don't know. I thought he was serious. But now," and then, out of nowhere, she asked, "You still have the papers? The proof?" I didn't answer. She said, "Because if he runs, we both lose. He emptied my account too." That's how I found out the next twist. Mark didn't just lie to us emotionally. He lied financially. Jessica showed me her bank app, $30,000. Gone. A joint investment account she thought they were using for their future. He cleaned it out. And here's the part one haven't told anyone yet, because I still don't know what to do with it. That night, when I got home, I checked our home security cam history from the condo. Yes, I kept access even though I moved out temporarily. There was footage from a week ago. At 2:17 a.m., a black car pulled up. Mark got out. Looked right into the camera. Smiled. And said out loud, "You'll figure it out." Then he walked away. That's it. He knew I'd be watching. He wanted me to know he was ahead of me. So now here I am. Sitting with all this. A cheating husband. A secret child. A mistress who got played too. Money stolen. A fake proposal. A man on the run, maybe across the world. And a message that makes no damn sense. You'll figure it out. Figure what out? I'm not done yet. Not even close. It took 2 more weeks for everything to come to a head. I stopped sleeping. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw his face. That smug little smirk in the security camera. Like he won. Like he played everyone and walked away clean. But I wasn't going to let him vanish. I hired another investigator, this one specialized in international tracking. He didn't come cheap, but I was past the point of worrying about cost. He found Mark. In Lisbon. Under a fake name. Renting a small apartment. Guess what name he used? Marcus Lane. Lane was my maiden name. That was the final straw. So I flew to Portugal. I didn't tell anyone. Not Jessica. Not my sister. I just packed a bag and left. I knew where he'd be. He went to a small wine bar every Friday at 7 p.m. My PI sent me pictures. And so, one Friday night, I walked into that bar. He was sitting outside, legs crossed, glass of red wine in hand, reading a newspaper like some romantic novelist. He looked up, saw me, and froze. I walked straight up to him and said, "Surprised?" He opened his mouth, but no words came out. So I sat down. And then I let him have it. I didn't scream. I didn't throw my drink in his face. But I cut him with every word. "You lied to me for 15 years, I said. You made me feel crazy when I knew something was wrong. You let me blame myself for not getting pregnant while you had a child with someone else. You proposed to your mistress at my birthday party, with our friends and family watching. And then, when the walls started closing in, you ran." He finally found his voice. "It wasn't supposed to go like this." That's when I laughed. Loud and bitter. "You think this is a movie? You think you're some genius who played everyone? You're not special, Mark. You're a coward with a passport." Then he dropped it. The bomb. "I didn't run because of you. I ran because she found out." I blinked. She? He didn't mean Jessica. He meant Lucas' mom. "She said she was going to go public," he said. "Go to the firm, tell HR, go to my family, everything." So I left. Took what I could. Figured you'd be okay. You always land on your feet. I almost slapped him. "You destroyed 3 lives and your backup plan was me being okay?" He shrugged. Actually shrugged. "I knew you'd hate me. But I didn't want you to ruin me." That's when I realized, he never loved any of us. Not really. Not me. Not Jessica. Not even his son. He only ever loved himself. I stood up, feeling something inside me snap into place. Like a final puzzle piece. Like the truth finally clicked. "Don't worry," I said. "I'm not here for revenge. I'm here for clarity. Now I can finally leave knowing I faced the real you." I walked away. He didn't chase me. Didn't call out. Just sat there like a ghost. Back in Chicago, the fallout was swift. Jessica cried when I told her. He never wanted a life. He wanted options. She moved out of her condo. Said she needed to start over. I didn't blame her. We weren't friends, but we weren't enemies either. Just 2 women burned by the same fire. Lucas' mom eventually reached out. We met. She was stronger than me. Smarter too. She said, "I knew the moment I saw him with you. He was going to break everything." She didn't want money. Just truth. I respected that. The divorce finalized 2 months later. Clean cut. No drama. He didn't contest anything. Didn't even show up. My lawyer said it was the easiest win she ever had. It's been 6 months now. The condo is mine. I changed the locks. Burned the bed sheets. Repainted the walls. Every little thing that felt like us, I scrubbed it clean. I see a therapist twice a week. I journal. I drink too much wine on some nights and too much tea on others. But I'm still standing. People ask me how I didn't completely fall apart. I tell them, because I already did. Now I'm rebuilding. Would I ever trust again? I don't know. Would I ever love again? Maybe. But not now. Not until I can look someone in the eyes and not hear that voice saying, "You weren't supposed to see this." I'm not hopeful. I'm not bitter. I'm just awake. Finally.